Hey guys, welcome back to another long overdue video. It's been around 4 months and there will be a whole video explaining what's gonna happen, what happened, a whole life update if you will. You can check that up here. However, this video is urgent. I wanted to do it urgently and I wanted to do it now because it's about the HUMAT. And the HUMAT is coming up in I think about 2 weeks. And so this video is about me asking other students of first year, people that took a HUMAT exactly around a year ago, people from my class, exactly what tips they would give to a person that is going to take the HUMAT again, or what they themselves will do differently. Take into consideration that these are all people in my class that got in, these are all people that took the HUMAT and succeeded, and they all have very different tips. So my overarching conclusion is that there is no one recipe for success when it comes to HUMAT. You can check out my recipe up here, and that worked for me, but of course for other people, well, you'll hear what they have to say. One thing is that some people recommend question banks or books or stuff like that, and I will leave those linked down in the video description. But yeah, again, I repeat, without further ado, let's get into today's video on tips for the HUMAT.
I'd do much more past papers because I think now they're more available as there's been more tests done. So just do as many as you can and practice the problem solving, like the math section more, because they trick you and it's like simple questions, but they display it in a complicated way. So just be prepared for those ones. And yeah, I think that's it. Just practice as much as you can. Use the UCAT because the HUMAT is very similar to the UCAT, just more simple and there's no abstract reasoning. So use those resources as well if you finish your HUMAT ones.
I think I would try to start earlier and do like more practice papers, not just like the HUMAT ones, but also like the UK CAT ones, because a lot of the questions are very similar in a way, and that really helps with just getting into that, also understanding the speed of how you should do it kind of thing, because a lot of it is not just like understanding how to do the problems but doing it quick, because you really don't have much time when it comes to like the abstract reasoning or like the math kind of sections. And so yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, for me, in my personal experience, I did the UCAT first, so that kind of helped me, and like that kind of put me in place, like knowing how much time I should spend on the questions and like how I would tackle the questions, because it was more just understanding it was 50% understanding how you do the question and 50% understanding like what the contents are. So like the reading and all of that, you would like 50% would be like going at what pace I should read, at what pace I would read to understand all of it. And secondly, I would say just don't do too much, because for the UCAT personally, I did way too much, knowing that like, oh, if I do all the questions, I would be more comfortable. But that wasn't the case. So it's just like, do enough for each day, but don't stress too much and don't burn yourself. So yeah, just take it slightly and you'll do it better.
So one thing I would do differently is practice a lot of TSA papers, because they have a lot of questions that require you to think analytically, critically, and read through a lot of the research papers, because the kind of English that's used in the academic literature section, it's a little complicated, and yeah, if you have exposure to research papers, you kind of have a gist in your head to how to get through them. So yeah, that would be it. Yeah, just a lot of complicated scientific articles and TSA papers. That's it.
I would practice more using more past papers than last time.
So I guess I practice questions, but I didn't do much. I was sort of surprised though with the amount of math related questions in there. So I would sort of hone in on the math, but there isn't a particular math section that you should tackle. It's more general, conceptual things.
Go as fast as you can and trust your instinct.
So quick intermission here. My friend didn't really want her face to be in the video. She didn't want to be visually recorded, and so I only have the audio. So enjoy this B-roll of the campus, our beautiful campus here at Humanitas University. Ooh, that sounds like an ad. Enjoy the footage of enjoy the B-roll footage of Humanitas University while you listen to her excellent advice.
Okay, so for anyone who is focusing on the English section of the HUMAT, I would recommend using the MCAT cars section,
because if you practice more on that, it really resembles what they ask on the HUMAT English. Like the skills you need to take, like finding keywords, key sentences, breaking down the questions themselves, and even pacing yourself. If you practice with the cars section of the MCAT, you can easily do that. And it's really easy to find cars questions. You can just look online. You don't need to buy any textbooks. As for the other section, I don't know what I did.
Fair enough.
I passed it. That's it.
That works. So for the English part, I started learning English when I was pretty young. So by now I speak it pretty well, I'd say. So yeah, that really helped me a lot. And for the logic part, I don't really have any tips or tricks. I just slept a lot, hope for the best, and yeah, I got lucky.
That's great.
Okay, my advice for the HUNIMED test would be to solve a lot of past questions, especially ones where different subjects intersect. For example, math questions that have physics in them, or chem questions that require knowledge in biology. If you do these, you won't get caught by surprise during the test or after in your academical career. As for the logic part, I'd say if you like doing puzzles, if you're into decryption or generally enjoy pattern questions in maths, you shouldn't have that much of a problem. Do a lot of reading, practice, and you should be good.
And yeah, that is our first video in, I think, exactly 4 months, which I'm quite happy about how it turned out. I'm happy about the tips. I'm happy I got people to talk to you guys, and hopefully you guys will be able to meet them and meet me and meet the rest of my class that will be second year soon when you guys get into Humanitas University after watching these videos on my tips and listening to the tips that my classmates gave. But yeah, I think that we're back after I finish my exams. There will be a few videos throughout my exam session, as it's like a productive way of avoiding studying. And after that, of course, more regular, either weekly or bi-weekly videos, depending on what time allows. But yeah, thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.